Creation breathes not bound by frozen laws, but sways with those who walk upon its face. When humankind distorts its inner cause, the world responds with grief, then yields its place. When heart turns dark, the soil drinks in the blood. The mirror breaks and sky forgets its blue. No law external moves this sacred tide. It's we who tilt the axis of the whole. The world aligns with those who dwell inside, their harmony the music of its soul. So judgment is not lightning flung from high, but structure we betray, and so must die. What reads as wrath is deeper truth concealed, the source withdraws, and forms dissolve to dust. In Hebrew depths a logic is revealed. The act and word are joined by sacred trust. The eat before the man is sign and frame. From Aleph unto Tav, a world contained. Each layer echoes triads in their name. In every part the system is explained. Creation turns when balance fails to hold, and uncreation mirrors what was made. The flood's descent is not chaotic cold, it's law in breath, where being is betrayed. So Genesis proclaims with hidden art, unmaking is the language of the heart. When being speaks, the cosmos folds in speech. No gap remains twixt word and what unfolds. Viomer, origin begins to breach through Aleph's breath as Mem through water rolls. Yahweh, the pulse that names the present hour, is not detached from deed, but lives in flow. Emche, a wave that overcomes the tower, unbinding what no longer truth can show. So voice becomes the pivot and the path. To speak is not to wish, but to enact. Creation's root in speech contains its wrath. When source recoils, the world is called back. The triad stands, word, speaker, and the tide. One utterance, and all of form must slide. From dust and breath the human form was cast, a mirror poised to catch the light of God. When turned aright, the world its shape holds fast. When turned away, the fields begin to nod. Aleph through Mem, the soul in matter moves. Barati names the form the source bestows. Asher, the hinge of recognition, proves the cosmos holds, if we its origin know. If this reflection dims, then so does ground. The echo falters, structure comes undone. The centre must hold firm for truth to sound, else shadow multiplies and blocks the sun. So let the mirror face the light anew. For what we see, the world will also do. Unmaking peels the layers back in grace. First, Maal lifts the shelter from above. Then Pene bares the earth's once covered face. The mask removed reveals what lies thereof. Ha-Adamah, the last and rawest floor, now stands alone, exposed to ancient wave. Where once there stood a structure to restore, now only silent ground and waiting grave. But negation is not a void or spite. It's clarity where falsehood used to reign. Without dissent, we cannot see aright. Without the tear, corruption will remain. So let the sky recede, the truth arise. For healing comes when structure drops disguise. Corruption does not halt where it began. From man it spreads across the creatured field. The beasts once calm, now tremble under man. The creeping things no innocence can shield. The rupture at the top distorts the base. From steward flows the sickness to the clay. The web of life now fractures in its grace. and smallest life must carry dread away. This triad warns. When apex breaks in trust, the harmony of kind and kin is torn. The moral fall becomes an echo thrust, and every living soul is newly worn. Our fall is not our own, nor is it small. When we misalign, the rest must also fall. The fall ascends, for ruin has no bound. The birds that soared now spiral from the blue. What once gave voice and vision now is drowned. Even the sky forgets what once it knew. Of marks the eye that sees from heights above, now blinded by the loss of sacred tune. And Shamayim, the vault that held our love, now bears no light beneath its silver moon. Perception fails, and meaning loses shape. No bird can sing when air no longer speaks. The heavens fracture when the hearts escape. The ladder falls for souls who wisdom seek. Thus, truth is not a thing the sky can give, when sight itself forgets how we must live. But now the voice turns inward, deep and clear. Nishamti speaks not rage, but sacred rue, not fickle grief, but purpose drawn austere, a sorrow born when form no longer true. The making stands, but now requires mend. Creation sees itself, and well weeps to grow. The key binds grief and action without end. Because, you see, only care can bid the waters flow. A city names a shaping born of thought, and what was made is known and held in love. Regret here means correction deeply sought, a faithful act, not thunder from above. When sorrow meets creation in one breath, the world finds cleansing, not a god of death. So 3 voices made the song of earth's design, the human heart, the ground, and, well, life's wild play. When all aligned, their music was truly divine. But, you know, when one fell out, the rest began to sway. The Adam turned, no longer faced the light, and the Adama grew thin and cracked with strife. The beasts who once had thrived, well, they forgot their right, and all that lived absorbed the failing life. It's not that wrath fell cold upon the field, but resonance reversed its sacred tune. A single note, you see, outstripped the shield and echoed till the sky, well, forgot the moon. Yet, if one voice can bend the world to pain, one voice can also bring it back again. The parting sea of sky and soil now folds. The waters meet from high and from below. The world, once held in tears, no longer holds. The voice of God and flood become one flow. The sorrow named becomes the form of rain. The deep returns, not wrathful, but to clear. Each element aligns to end the strain, and all obey the voice they still revere. Creation closes circle in this tide, not to destroy, but bring to seed once more. The ark will rest where silence will abide, and doves will search for branches on the shore. The chord now breaks, but not to end the song. It breaks to make the new world sound more strong. This verse does not just point to days gone past. It shows the arc that plays in every age. When heart forgets the mirror, forms won't last, and all the world reflects that inner cage. Collapse begins in layers, not in flame. As structure fails, the deep returns to hold. And even beasts who never knew our name will echo what our silence has foretold. The sky itself will darken when we drift. Regret will rise from love, not blind despair. And if we act, the world itself may shift. One soul can tune the vastness with its prayer. The flood is not the end, but what must start when love returns to mend the broken.